Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. We are going to talk about these six things na nasa screen natin. So, I'm pretty sure na naka-prepare kayo and napag-usapan na natin sino ang mag-talk. So, I think we should start already. So, first is to differentiate sex, gender, and sexual orientation.
So for differentiation for sex, gender, and sexual orientation is first is for sex is it is what you have been born or since you are biologically born as a human, so ma-differentiate ka into male and female. So it mao to siya ang sex, while ang gender is what the culture thinks and what the culture wants you to be. And 'di ba, kung ginaisip sa culture na you are a man, then you must be a man. And if ang culture ninyo is sabi na you are a woman, so dapat you act as a woman. So ganyan ang gender. So for the gender, ay for the orientation, ano yun? Sex orientation is ang sex orientation is what and who you are attracted to. So if you are a man but you are attracted to a man also, then that is your choice for gender orientation. So ganon. Ganon ko siya na differentiate, guys. So any add-ons or any thoughts about it?
Tama. Kasi ang sex is ma-differentiate mo siya sa sex gametes, which are the XX and the XY. Tapos, gender, parang ito yung ginasabi doon sa video na parang man-made or parang, 'di ba? Tama ba?
Oo.
Yes.
Yung what culture thinks about you. Parang ganon. What society thinks about you.
Also, I would like to add about sex is that we humans are somewhat sexually dimorphic, meaning there are certain distinctions between sexes from the clearest examples are in our secondary sexual characteristics that develop after puberty. So it can be clearly seen physically there. Don't you agree, guys?
Tama. So, naintindihan ba ang difference ng tatlo? So, sex, biological. So, yung pagpanganak sa'yo, sex gametes, kung anong meron ka. Gender is man-made or how you identify yourself with. Sexual orientation is yung kung sino ka attracted. Sige, go. Proceed tayo sa number 2. Explain why gender is a social construct.
So, diba, gender, it refers to the characteristics of woman, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. So this includes norms, behaviors, and roles associated with uh, being a woman, man, girl, or boy, as well as relationships with each other. So, as a social construct, gender varies from society to society and can change over time. So, para masabtan jud siya, ang gender kay ang tao ang mag-define, like kung girl, boy, bakla, or tomboy, baka. And so, social construct siya kay depende sa person kung unsa iyang preference o kung unsay iyang gusto ipatawag sa iya ha. And basta ano siya, gender is social construct siya kay tungod binuhatan siya sa tao, kay exist siya because sa tao o ano kanang because of my interaction. Mo ako masabtan. Tinapong may dungag.
May idagdag ako about sa bakit siya socially constructed. Ang gender magud kay di ba wala ba siyang fixed na categories talaga or yung specific bigla category, parang dinadefine lang siya based sa kung ano ang parang quality ng mga tao, like kung ano para sa kanila ang feminine, masculine, ganyan. So it is socially constructed kasi it has expectations from the society as well. Like ang behaviors mo, characteristics, and ang mga thoughts mo as a person.
Tama kasi minsan nag-base ang society on how to identify a gender based on the gender expression, which isn't always true. But again, it is a social construct because it's constructed by the society. So ibig sabihin, we already have these labels and then we already have following characteristics under these labels. So para bang just to understand a whole spectrum, they put labels on everything para maging ano siya, kung ano yung gender in general and sa each person. So ano wala na kayong idagdag sa number 2?
Na
Ano? Sige,
ako
go.
the concepts of gender in one area of the world will vary will vary with another definition of gender in another part of the globe. So it is very clearly socially constructed.
Tama kasi nag-depend siya sa culture and kung saan. Yan, sige. Proceed tayo number 3.
Okay, so number 3, ay wait lang, ignore nyo lang yung ano ha, noise. Okay, Okay, number 3 is to identify gender equality issues. So, ka-search ako ng 5 issues, which is violence against women, sexual harassment, the wage gap, the women's health, and the work and life balance. So, violence against women, so generally, di ba, men are considered to be more valuable in this society today. So, this unbalanced scenario exists in numerous countries, communities, social life, and it has a potential to result in violence. It's either physical, verbal, or psychological, so any kind of violence. So next is sexual harassment. So victims of sexual harassment are intimidated, humiliated, and their dignity is affected by the display of power. So physical contact, sexual advances, jokes with social content, or any inappropriate comments, or like for example, ma-put mo lang yung woman na intimidated siya in a situation, ma-consider na yan siya as a sexual harassment, right? So next is the wage gap. So in the workplace, lalo na in the workplace, it is common to witness pay inequalities between male and female employees, even for work that is equal of or a greater, even though na same lang sila ng work, same lang sila ng ginagawa. So to bridge the wage gap, education is really essential. Women with advanced degrees, on the other hand, are at the far ends of the achievement difference with their male counterparts. So next issue is the women's health. Women's health and well-being must be taken into consideration if we are to attain true gender equality. So it is not just being away from illness or being free of illness. Rather, our community's long-term viability is dependent on this precondition of growth: access to adequate living conditions, adequate food and shelter, adequate employment, and suitable medical help are all necessary to achieve through gender equality. So next is the work and life balance. So women and men are increasingly sharing the burden of providing for their family. So same lang sila nag-provide or 50-50 pa nga. But the distribution of household work has not changed in the same way. So mas mataas or marami pa ding ginagawa yung girls or mga women sa house, pagluluto, paglalaba, everything. So, including the fact that women who take on both a productive and reproductive role have to work longer hours, get less rest, and are burdened with a heavy workload that puts their health at risk and limits opportunities for a successful professional career. So, ayun lang.
Tama kasi we live in a world where, in a very patriarchal world, so gina-dominate dyan siya ng men ever since. One, because of religion, and then others kay because it's what this society tells them. Tapos 'di ba kasi gender equality means equal, for example, equal wages for men and women, equal amount of work for men and women, kahit gaano ka pa katangkad, gaano ka pa kaputot or anything, hindi nag-matter ang sex mo. Yun yung equality, 'di ba? Same lang ng mga ma-receive ng mga advantages and disadvantages. So yeah. May idagdag pa kayo? If wala na ano na tayo. Proceed tayo sa number 4, identify gender equity issues.
So, fourth topic is the gender equity. So, first, define mo na what is gender equity. So, gender equity is the fairness of treatment for women and men according to their respective needs. So, for gender equality, dapat equal. Then, ang sa gender equity fairness. So, ang gender equity issues like, for example, like about yung sa leadership good, like before, like dili jud advice nga ang women na mag-lead good sa country, dapat parang siya hindi mo siya bully, like discrimination about sa women na dapat ang guys jud ang mag-lead. Tapos next is the lack of employment. So naay uban companies, like for example, like hiring sila of builders or construction worker, like ilaha jung gina-advise na dapat ang mag-apply lang ana kay lalaki, even though na many good na women na skillful na kaya nila na buhaton. Tapos next is about sa education. Before, like dili advice na ang dapat ang women kay naalang sa balay, dapat ang lalaki lang pwede na i-privilege nga maka-eskwela. So mao to yung gender equity issues. Na po may madagdag, guys.
Also kanang sa mga promotion bitaw and being a leader, kay kadalasan ang ma-promote, mas paspas ma-promote is yung mga lalaki kaysa sa mga babae. Also sa mga wages bitaw sa mga workers, I think nakoy na search kagay ng more women wages more women ang mga workforce sa fields na to, pero ang mga seniors or ang mga leaders is fewer lang, pero majority pa rin sa mga seniors kay mga mga male yapon. So yan.
Nakita niyo ba yung parang photo about equality and equity? Equality is, for example, both of you gets a ladder to get an apple. Kaso, yung sa part ng tree mo, kay higher ang apples. Tapos, oh my God, nag-lag ako. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Nag-lag ako.
Okay lang.
Ay, okay, sige. Sige. So both of them were given 2 ladders na of same height. Tapos yung isa medyo putot siya, tapos yung isa matangkad. Tapos yung isa sa dito na part ng tree, tapos yung isa dito na part ng tree. Dito na part ng tree ang apples higher. So wala siya dito, tapos dito kay nasa baba. So equality, both of them will be given ladders. Equity, both of them will be given ladders, pero yung dito na side, papuntahin siya dito para easier access sa apple. So parang ganun good ang difference niya. Equality, bigyan kayo ng same amount, same things, no matter what your needs are. Tapos ang equity, kay kung nag-base siya sa anong need mo para makuha mo yung apple. Parang ganun. Naintindihan ba? Tama ba?
Oral.
Oo, may idagdag pa kayo.
Sa equity, may consideration.
Oo.
Ganun. May consideration. May madagdag pa kayo doon? Wala na. Wala na?
Wala na.
Wala na,
Clear
sige.
naman na.
So yung number 6, i-end ko na lang muna yung Zoom kasi mag-time na tayo. Pobre ba yata? No,
Ralph, napay 5, Ralph.
Napay?
5.
5 minutes?
No.
Napay number 5.
Ay, may 5
Number
pa pala.
five.
Wala pa pala 6. Sige, go. Identify different gender stereotypes in society.
So, di ba when we say gender stereotypes, these are the ideas that people have on masculinity or femininity. Like, when we say gender stereotype, ideas on how men and women should be like and are capable of doing. Parang siyang gender roles, like how women and men were expected to act, speak, or dress, groom, and conduct ourselves based upon our assigned sex. So, there are so many examples of gender stereotyping here in our society. Like, in general, for example, when it comes to like in personality traits, women are generally expected or are often portrayed to be emotional, caring, and in need of protection, while men are expected to be confident or aggressive, or sometimes they are characterized as rational, career-driven, and strong. When it comes naman sa like domestic behaviors, ang women kay gina-expect siya na to mag-take care ng children, mag-cook, mag-clean ng home, while men take care of finances, work on the car, and do home repairs. So there are also circumstances also na nag-gender stereotyping when it comes to occupation. Like, di ba, halimbawa, pag makarinig ka ng teachers and nurses, gina-assume na ng mga tao na they are women, while pilots, doctors, and engineers are supposed to be men. Meron din siya sa physical appearance, like women gina-expect to have long hair, wear makeup, while some men, they like have short hair and are expected to be taller and more muscular. So, yun yung mga general gender stereotyping in society. May ma-add pa kayo?
I-add ko lang na gender stereotyping is very harmful for the society kasi nga you are putting someone in a box just based on what the gender is, when a lot of us can do so much more, and ang ibang, for example, straight men, medyo mapigilan sila to do feminine things, like for example ballet or any feminine dances, even makeup. Nowadays, madami na kasi din na straight men na nagme-makeup, but pero recently lang yon. So before, kay parang ang tingin pa ng mga people dyan is it's not right, 'di ba? So it's a very harmful practice, kumbaga, ang stereotyping, kasi it puts people in boxes, tapos it limits us on what we can do. Yan. May ma-add pa kayo?
Wala na ako raw.
May dagdag ako. Ay, ikaw sa Josh.
Also, many daghan naman karon ng mga artist and mga famous person nga naga-break ani sa gender stereotypes like K-pop, and kailan mo sa quote in quote bagong craze karon na Spider-Man, si Tom Holland is siya, ballet dancer siya. So ever since daw nga bata pa siya, ginabully daw siya, and wala daw kay siya friends. Pero karon, 'di ba, successful kay siya. You can never judge a person based sa iyahang pagkatao jud bitaw, like wa jud ka kaila sa tao jud mismo. Pero nara jud na sa abilidad jud sa tao. So just
Napot yung like situation ba, like with yung classmate ko senior high, like napot classmate na lalaki, like very hygienic ko siya, like sa iyahang bag, kay iya lang ginadala kay wipes, dili siya pwede nga, dili siya kalakaw nga wala siya wipes, inana god ka na, like grabe jud kayo siya ka-hygienic, tapos parang kung ano siya ba, ang mga classmates namo kay marag naga-doubt god nga, murag bayot man guro na siya kay ana, pero dili jud nato dayon nga i-misjudge good daw yun ang tao. Hygienic lang jud siya, dapat dili man necessary nga kung limpyada ka or limpyado ka kay bayot dayon ka kung lalaki ka, ano nun.
Tama, kasi what the society is doing is putting also gender sa mga things. For example, sa clothing, ginalagyan na din ng gender sa colors. When like before, pag dapat like hindi good yan siya, dapat gina-box din. Like for example, only women can wear pink, or only women can wear crop tops, kumbaga. Crop tops were a thing for men before. Ngayon, God. Pero like alam mo yon, yung hindi na satisfy ang society to gender people, pati mga things gina-gender, ginalagyan na din nila ng gender. So ganon. Ganun yung nangyari sa friend mo na parang if you're hygienic, ay hindi yan, parang ganyan. If you're a guy tapos parang masyado kang mabango, masyado kang malinis, wala ka bang ganyan-ganyan. So, 'di ba, weird siya. Yun lang. Yun lang madagdag ko. May madagdag pa ba kayo? Ayan, so number 6 na tayo. How can these issues be addressed or resolved based on your course or profession? So, we are going to show them scenarios sa pharmacy on how we can deal with these issues. So, pwede mag-stop ka na screen share, John. Sige. So, ang first scenario natin is, for example, someone walks in and you're not sure kung ano ang pronouns niya or kung if you're going to call that person a he or a she or kung ano ba. So, let's see if ano ang pwede mong gawin, Mr. Inutan and Miss Sham.
Okay, so mag-start na ako. So, sunod ako sa pharmacy. Pag-abot ako sa pharmacy, nakainon ko. Sa ganito kong paliton, ha? Nakalimot ko sa kong paliton.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Joshua Rexter D. Nutan, your pharmacist for today. May I know your name po?
My name is Ivan.
Ivan. May I know your pronoun po ba, if she or he, or how may I address you po?
She po, you can call me Miss Ivan.
Sige po, Miss Ivan.
Okay, so I think it's safer if dili sa ta mag-use og gender specific na mga words, for example, ma'am or sir. I think if you're not sure on how to call or what to call a person, siguro pwede ka mag-start dayon na may I know your pronouns po so that I can address you properly, because that's one of our jobs as pharmacists is to communicate with our patient and para hindi natin ma-offend ang patient natin, ganun. 'Di ba? Tama ba? Sige, wala mo idagdag dito. Wala na
None so
ba?
far because you encapsulated the entire thing and summarized it well.
Sige, sige. So sige, next natin na scenario is how will you sell products, kumbaga, or like cosmetic products sa isang guy who's asking for cosmetic products for himself. Kasi 'di ba medyo ano pa siya sa society natin, medyo taboo. Parang hindi pa siya masyadong fully accepted. So sige. Mr. Presidente and Miss Jessa.
Okay, so now I am at Watson's and I'm looking for something. Go.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, naamin new foundation na release ba? Baka
It
ganahan ka,
matches
sir.
to my complexion. How much po, miss?
250 lang po, sir.
Very nice. I like it.
Kayo po ba ang magamit, sir?
Yes po.
Okay po, sir. Oh, ito po, sir. Perfect po to sa skin tone niyo po.
Thank you, miss.
Kayo, anong masabi niyo doon?
Excuse me, Ralph. Naglag ka.
Sorry. Anong masabi niyo doon? Ano masabi niyo doon? Wala. Kaya ako may masabi ako.
Sige daw ra.
Sige,
Unsay
sige,
mo
sige.
maingon.
Sige, medyo lag ko, no? Lag ba ka iko? Dili. Dili lang pa. Dili. Madungog ba ko?
Double at times.
Nagalag mo sa ako. Sige. Bear with me na lang. So, there, syempre, di ba, we live in a society na hindi pa nakikita masyado or hindi pa fully accepted na men can wear makeup too. Like, kahit as simple as foundation, di ba, ano pa rin, discriminate pa rin yung mga people. So, I think that's right na pag may naghahanap ng foundation, for example, John, di ba, pumunta siya sa Watsons, tapos he's looking for cosmetic products that would match his skin. So yun, right yung gigawa ni Jessa na nag-offer siya ng mga products, then nag-ask siya kung siya ba ang magamit. And she didn't react the way people would react if malaman nila na a guy na yung guy na yun ang mag-wear ng certain makeup products. So ano ba? By doing this, syempre we are breaking gender stereotyping. Hindi natin siya ginaput sa isang box just because he's a man, he can't wear makeup. So that's one of the things we can do as pharmacists, no, to be inclusive, kumbaga, kasi kalaki ng scope ng profession natin, and parang we are in a place where we can help defeat these issues, kumbaga. So like for example, as simple as communicating with them using the proper pronouns, addressing them properly, that's already a big thing sa kung anong progress meron tayo ngayon when it comes to gender and society. So yun lang ang masabi ko. Kayo?
So mostly in our profession, I think it would be for the best if we just act as professional as possible and be as, what do you call this? There's this term, I forgot, basta the term, we just have to be more sensitive or like careful on what we say, as it has an impact, and it is our job to not only give the products that our patients require, but also ensure that their experiences during acquiring the said product is, at the very least, tolerable and permissive. Anything else, my classmate?
May ma-add pa ba kayo?
None so far.
Wala na. So I think yun na yun. Wala na ba kayong masabi tungkol sa question sa number 6? Hindi na natin siya i-role play. Yun lang ang mga scenarios na pwede natin i-role play. Pero baka may gusto kayong idagdag, verbally lang. If wala na pa heart react na lang ako. None. Perfect. So I think this ends our discussion. So thank you so much, guys. See you na lang sa next natin na mga group works. Thank you.